I'm Lauren from Urban Scoop, and I am joined by the man that never sleeps, Jack Hadfield, independent journalist. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, and yourself?
I'm good. So tell us what's going on here today.
Obviously, we're outside Westminster Magistrates Court right now, where Tommy's, supposed really getting done under the Terrorism Act for. Now, this is an offence that could genuinely hit any one of us here. If you look at what happens, where there'll be multiple people, there's been multiple cases of YouTubers, independent journalists, just people on the right overall, who'll go to a holiday or go to work somewhere else in the world, come back, fly back into, say, Heathrow, be met with armed guards and have all their phones taken, their laptops stolen, oftentimes never returned, under an act basically meant to stop Islamist extremists from blowing us up. But this act is now used to, again, get Tommy Robinson to say, hey, what's the PIN number for your phone, please? And if you refuse, you could be looking at 3 months in jail. And that's obviously what's happened here today. But as I said, it's not just Tommy that's been affected by this. It literally, this is the one where anyone watching this right now, if you're a supporter of Tommy or just on the right generally, or, you tweet something, you put a post on X about how maybe, you think mass immigration is a bad thing, the police could get you for this, and they can hold you for 72 hours without charge, and then you can't even say no comment. It's one of the most authoritarian laws in this country, and that's what they're trying to get Tommy on here right now.
And we know we won't get the truth from any mainstream media about what's going on with the migrant hotels. You are the man that never sleeps on the ground. Tell us at Urban Scoop, what's going on, Jack?
Yes, so obviously it all kicked off the mid-July in Epping, where Hadash Kabatu has now been confirmed that he legally sexually assaulted a 14-year-old schoolgirl just in the middle of the street there, and he was given just under a year in prison, whereas 3 men who rioted a few days afterwards have got more prison time than he has. So if you're out here protesting about schoolgirls being sexually assaulted by illegal immigrants and you get a little bit feisty with it, you get more jail time than the illegal immigrant will. So there's been multiple cases of young girls, women being sexually assaulted, raped, attacked by people who've been living in the asylum hotels across the country, which is what sparked off so many protests everywhere this summer. Norwich, Nuneaton, Waterlooville, Epping, the Britannia Hotel in Canary Wharf. It's constantly been blowing up now. And I will say the protests seem to have been slowing down a little bit, but not stopping. I think they're getting a lot more concentrated now, especially in the areas like, I would say, Epping and the Britannia Hotel specifically, where the Pink Ladies movement sprung out of. Obviously, you've got Orla Minahane and Sarah White in Epping, and you've got Lorraine in Britannia Hotel, who basically came up with this at the same time. It's women, girls, mothers, grandmothers standing up and saying, we don't want the risk of sexual assault, rape coming from these people who are in these hotels who shouldn't be in this country to begin with. And you'll see people like Stand Up to Racism counteracting this, which is why, I've seen Stand Up to Racism often being called Stand Up for Rapists, because it seems that's exactly what they're doing when they're counter-protesting people who are saying, I'm not in favour of sexual assault. And it's like, if you're counter-protesting that, what's wrong with you, honestly?
Well, I did some research on Tower Hamlets because their council Aspire are trying to build the Pink Ladies as far right-wing terrorists, and it is a predominantly Bangladeshi area, and the age of consent in Bangladesh is 14. And so whilst the government want to ban us all as right-wing terrorists, I want to know, and I'm sure you want to know, what are they doing to safeguard minors from these cultures, because they seem to be very quick to try and silence us, but I'm not seeing a huge amount of work on their part.
Yes, I think it really is a crime that, the British government is importing hundreds of thousands, millions of men in some cases from cultures that do not respect the rule of law, do not respect women, do not respect their right, not to just be randomly sexually assaulted on the street. Why on earth would we import so many of these men here? I've heard the criticism from the left that you say, Pink Ladies, why are they going off against these migrants? But there's already so many white rapists, in England. It's like, that's the point. There already are. We've already got too many of our own criminals. Why on earth do we need to be importing men from across the third world who are even more likely to commit these serious sexual offences? I think, every white rapist should be locked up in this country. And I don't think any other rapist from anywhere else in the world should be allowed to come in the first place.
I agree with you. Get rid of all of the rapists, but I think the difference is what we've seen with the grooming gangs is they have been enabled and covered up by the police and by the authorities, and they're still going on now because, 5 months after the grooming gang inquiry was supposed to start, there's still no chair. What is Jess Phillips doing?
There's still nothing. I don't think anybody trusts the Labour government to run a grooming gang inquiry, especially not when it was so many Labour councillors in areas such as Rotherham, Rochdale, all across that section, the north, northwest and northeast of England, that were involved in either being part of the grooming gangs or covering them up along with the police. To be honest, I don't think we need a grooming gang inquiry. I think what we need specifically is basically a national tribunal, which has the power not only to investigate, but to arrest and to prosecute, because we know that the police are involved in covering up. We need an entirely separate body that can arrest other people that could be higher up in the police that the police wouldn't want to touch themselves. We need somebody that's completely independent from the structures that were involved in the cover-ups to begin with, that has prosecutorial powers, so that we can actually get people not just blamed, not just pinpointed names-wise, but actually arrested and locked up and having the key thrown away.
Well, for more amazing comments like that, how do people at Urban Scoop follow you?
Yes, well, I'm primarily on X at Jack Hadders. All of my links are available on my website, which is jackhadfield.co.uk. But primarily, I'm on X at Jack Hadders.
So, like Urban Scoop, Jack is entirely independent, and this is why it is so important that patriots back people like Jack and Urban Scoop, because it is only with your support we can continue. So for more info on how to support Urban Scoop, head to urbanscoop.news/support-us. And while you're there, you can give me a cheeky follow on YouTube at Lauren the Insider. Thank you.